What's up, everybody? It's your girl Kiwan, and I am back with Love and Marriage Huntsville, season 11, episode 20. Oops, I DM'd again. What? Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, click the notification bell button, yada, yada, yada. First of all, shout out to y'all, because if it wasn't for y'all, I wouldn't be at 803. Okay? And also, sporadically, I'm always at lunch by myself, where I like to be. And so I have incorporated lunch chronicles where I'm just randomly talking about things. So yeah, if y'all ain't doing nothing between either 11 and 11:30, anytime between 11 and 12, and y'all see me live, just hop on. Okay? Yeah. So here we go. And sorry for bringing y'all this late. I'm so sorry. I just been busy, and as I've been so busy, when I come home, I'm extremely tired, y'all. So my bad. Anyway, Scott 1.0, 2.0. Scott just put Scott 1.1 and 2. So Kimmy mentioned if their dad was coming for ice cream and snow cones, etc., etc. That's how the episode started, because they were walking to this ice cream parlor. They said that they started talking about the boys' relationship with their dad, the dynamics between the 8 kids and the dad. Marceau said he still talks with his dad about not being around and how his dad used to be too busy. He also understands that his dad told him, listen, I have 8 kids and I'm 20 years old. I think he said 20 or 26, and I did what I needed to do. So Tisha said that goes with the life-work balance situation and having time for your family. I kind of felt like in that moment she was talking to both Maurice. Personally, talking to Maurice and Marceau, because they're always busy. Low-key. But that's just me. Kimmy asked, do they encourage their dad and let him know, acknowledge him for showing up? But I actually want to know, what is the timeline? And I think that's what's confusing me. So, did he go to the non-payment federal employment? How long was it before he was locked up? And I know he was working. And when did he go to prison? And how long he been in prison? And I think what was a little bit frustrating to me, if I'm going to critique it a little bit, it seemed like the scenes with the Scotts have been very, very choppy. And I mean, we got what we got, and that is okay. I think this type of stuff is better than what we've gotten over the years. I can deal with this, but we didn't get much, but we got something. So Marceau said, it was Uncle Rick's time to be acknowledged, not really his, because basically we came here for Uncle Rick and to really celebrate Uncle Rick. He didn't use those words, but he used those words. Maurice said he wouldn't change a thing. And I was like, maybe something should have changed with your daddy, because she just suffered through, huh? That's all I'm saying. Maybe I have a better chance of what did we say? Having sex laying down than standing up, or what are those things? I'm just saying, maybe some things should have changed, I don't know. So Ken and Latricia. Ken is back in the house. At this point, I feel like this scene was both of them trying to justify why his crazy and her crazy should live in holy matrimony, minus the holy matrimony, because she's matrimonied with somebody else. Okay? The chaos. Y'all know when Candy says the lies. That's how I'll be feeling used to. I don't know. I actually like Ken and Trisha. I don't, I feel a little toxic, because I feel like I'm the only one in this world that like and tolerate Ken and Trisha, because I feel like they are just the stuff that I don't need, but the stuff that I need. Okay? Listen, it makes sense to me. I feel like it should make sense to y'all. Okay? We like them. I don't know why y'all don't like Ken and Trisha. Okay? They like extremely poor, bad, toxic. Well, no, because I like the Whitlows. Okay, the Whitlows were my favorite. Okay, we can bring Tiffany back, but Mr. Whitlow say, hell no. You know, that was my girl. So anyway, Trisha tells Ken what Tisha said about, Ken being in women's DMs. I low-key felt like Trisha used that to kind of ask if Ken has been unfaithful. Ken thinks that Trisha is trying to stir the pot, and I'm like, I mean, maybe, but sir, the truth of the matter is, you have been in DMs. You've admitted to being in DMs, but you claim it didn't go as far as you said it went. But I don't trust you or your muscles. But I like Trisha. Okay, I ain't gonna lie, y'all. Ken get on my nerves. So I feel like also Ken was basically telling her, if you don't act right, it's easy for me to stray than for me to do right. And I just feel like Trisha need to, she can't hear nothing because she don't want to be by herself. Because I feel like in her eyes that will make her unsuccessful next to that husband of hers. I cannot stand. He is, when I tell y'all, Marquez is very remedial to me. He is slow, baby. He is not what y'all call it, neurodivergent. Oh, sorry. I don't like Marquez. Okay, and he pisses me off. So anyway, looking at Trisha's face, all of this was very tight. And I feel like she was trying to hold it in, like, I'm about to beat this nigga's ass. And I feel like it almost looked like Trisha was seeing red. And I was like, girl. But, if you got to be all that, then ma'am, I feel like y'all relationship has low-key run its course. But y'all gonna stay the course to prove everybody wrong and to stay on the show. Because everything Marceau said to Ken this season, in the season, not last season, but the season I think before that, yeah, he wasn't lying. I'm just saying, y'all, we know Marceau can be Marceau, but he wasn't lying. So Marceau have a conversation with his dad. So he asked his dad, hey, are you good? Kimmy was concerned. She told me this, that, and the other. And he was like, no, she off base. She tripping. Sir, somebody lying. Kimmy saw what she saw. Kimmy is very aware, and Kimmy saw what she saw, and she felt what she felt. And I feel like you ain't being honest. Anyway, we're gonna let you have it, Mr. Scott, or whatever your name. If you Scott, I think I don't know, Mr. Scott. So he said he felt the way. It, to me, I don't know. I interpreted it as the dad felt the way because the kids didn't follow his footsteps. Now, I don't know if he was mad because they didn't follow his footsteps, but they follow Uncle Rick's footsteps. And I think he felt the way. Again, the scenes were a little choppy to me. But, he bigs his dad up. He acknowledges his dad, him and Maurice. They get emotional. His dad looked like he was getting emotional. I want to say he looked like he was, for the cry or whatever. I don't know. But Marceau said in his confessional, his dad, my dad was 26 with 8 kids. He said, my wife have 3 kids. He said, I'm doing the best I can to help her raise them. I said, Lord have mercy. When I watched it the other day, I was like, what? Y'all, they have this meme with this girl with the wig on, and she be like this. Okay, fine. Fine. In the next scene, the Creep Squad of Huntsville, Alabama meet up. That is Martell, Will, and Ken. The some of the Creep Squad. Okay, the rest ain't, and they will next week. Okay. Anyway, apparently Will got a lot. His inside of his business is real busy. He got this, this, and that. I don't know. I don't know what's happening. Okay, he has he got a pool. I sound like Ike. He got stalls in the barber shop and he got a one-stop shop and liquor. Likka, liquor. Okay, that's what Will got going on over there. Can't trust him. Anyway, Ken still talking about Trisha. Still complaining about Trisha. He decides he want to be messy and tell the messiest person on the cast that Tisha told Trisha that he been in women's DMs. Ken, you have been in the women's DMs, sir. Like, the only reason you admitted this to Trisha is because you got caught up. You are in their DMs. So she did not lie. And she brought back information that was told to her. Somebody told her. You're blaming it on her. She only telling Trisha what somebody told her. So what do you again, it makes you deceptive if you didn't want Trisha to know and you was doing these things behind her back. So it makes me wonder, do you do these things when you're mad at her? She may not know about it, but because you're mad at her, you're going to be like, I can get anybody I want. I can have anybody I want. I won't want. I feel like that's what you do. You just don't tell her. You just do it by speaking and flirting with other women. Okay? Anyway, so of course, giving this information to Martell, he lives for this type of stuff because he was just in beef with Marceau and Tisha because Tisha said allegedly he was gay for pay, and I believe it. Okay? So anyway, she didn't say gay for pay, but I feel like Martell was a little gay for pay. Anyway, all he needed was that little bit of information of the Scotts. Like, he want Marceau to get caught up so bad, like he did. You know, if you didn't watch Almost Christmas, when Monique said, if you're gonna bring a bitch in here, Lonnie, bring a smart bitch. Okay? And Martell, you didn't bring you a smart bitch. Okay? Or did she say young hoe, silly hoe? Yeah. So yeah. Yeah. Anyway, Martell said he hopes Ken can see through Trisha's BS. Oh. Really? You know what, Martell? I feel like you want him to discard Trisha. I don't know why. You're a jerk. Obviously, Ken not ready to let Trisha go. Okay? He was like, because if she lie about something small, she'll lie about something big. Martell, you just have some nerve. And why are you here? Okay, why are you here? There is no place for you here. Nobody likes you. People tolerate you, except for Big Fletch. Okay? And I just think Will is a fuckboy. Destiny and the Scotts. So Destiny meet up with the Scotts at this bar, and she talks to them about the overall meeting up with her family and how it went. Her siblings, they're meeting their grandmother for the first time. They're meeting their other family members for the first time, and then having conversations with her mom. Destiny also shares with them that she used to mask her pain by guarding herself, and we all seen that in Destiny, and it happens. Like, a lot of us were like that, or there are some of us that are actually still like that. But it's just rooted in trauma, and until you get the things you need, start moving in a direction where I don't want to be this person no more, I don't want to show up like this anymore, then you're gonna get the help that you need. That's all I'm saying. Shout out to Destiny, okay? So Maurice asked her, is that why you so feisty? And Marceau said aggressive. And I was like, Marceau, you always trying to call somebody out. You always trying to call some woman out. Okay? I feel like you be hating because that lady got more than you. Okay? That's all I'm saying. Destiny was like, I'm assertive. Period. I just don't feel like Destiny was aggressive. Wait, did she throw that chair at Stormy when they got into it? I don't know. Somebody threw the chair at somebody. But still, my girl ain't aggressive. Okay? So Marceau joked about her not being transparent. He was like, because I'm learning stuff about you. I'm learning something about you more and more every time you talk. And it's because Marceau, she said she used her mask to guard herself, so she was not comfortable with sharing with you. She was friends with Mel, and she did not share with Mel, which I'm not mad at Destiny for it, but she was not in a space where I want to pile on my divorce situation on you, and you're going through your own divorce situation. Listen, if you're a Melody fan, stan, whatever, semantics, don't want to argue it, don't care, I don't want to hear it, it is what it is, okay? We passed that. We're just specifically talking about Destiny and how she was so guarded, and now you see there is a big difference in Destiny, and she's still, I'm pulled up, but I'm here for Destiny, shout out. So Maurice and Martell, they meet up, so they catch up. He tell Maurice about Ken and Trisha's situation because he ain't got no situation. I don't know what Martell got going on. Why are you here? Okay, so Maurice said, the same thing. Okay, so Maurice said the same thing I said about Ken, and I always say Ken is on the gram thirst trapping. Every time you turn around, he is thirst trapping. Okay, all you see is this, here. Okay, thirst trapping. And I went and checked the comments. Okay, and I tell y'all, them women be under his comments. And I be looking at them women like, get y'all ass out of this man. That's how I be. Okay, y'all. Anyway. So, of course, Martell had to be the one to tell Maurice that Tisha told Trisha that women be in Kim's, whatever his name is, Ken's DM. And they do. Because he thirst trapping. He want them to be in there. I'm sorry, y'all. I should have grabbed some water. Like, I just feel like because I think Martell made this comment, like, him showing Trisha, like, basically what she missing out on, and that he can go out and get whoever he want, whenever he want. And Trisha a good one, because I would have been told him, okay, but that is why I'm single, okay, baby, because I ain't got time, okay, I avoided 3, okay, I don't have time. But play with your mama like that. Don't play with me, sir. You're not finna sit here and play in my face and try to manipulate me. All them women that's thirsting behind you, please go play with them. Okay? Anyway, Maurice tells Martell about, I guess it's a restaurant, some building him and Kimmy is building, and it's on pause because Marceau is always busy, yada yada yada, etc. etc. And Ken and Marceau. So of course, this is the portion where Ken feels like he needs to go tattle on Tisha because once again, you were in women DMs. You're trying to blame this on this lady for telling this woman that you're being dishonest. The nerve. So, what was I about to say? Like, okay. So my question is, when you were in these women DM, were you still with Trish? Or were y'all in between? Or even when you moved in your house, because it seems as though y'all was still working on things but living separately, but you still did whatever you wanted to do. You claimed nothing went far, as you stated earlier, but somehow I don't believe you. But okay, we'll entertain it. So Marceau tells him, that they still playing games. And he was mad. I feel like Ken got mad because Marceau was clocking him. And I feel like Marceau was being completely honest with him. And I know everybody don't like Marceau, and that is okay. That is A-okay. But it doesn't negate the fact that Marceau beat on his ass. So he was like, well, Marceau is married. And he's, talking about this like as if I'm married and all of that. But Ken, you got into a relationship with a married woman. You want the benefits of a marriage while you were in a relationship with Trisha, and you don't want whatever comes with it. You don't want nobody to tell you anything. You want people to feed you foolishness, which is why you're friends with niggas like Will and Martell. Okay? The creep squad. Because you're a creep. Anyway, he says that Tisha is driving a wedge in between their relationships. Sir, you and Trish are doing a great job at driving a wedge in y'all own relationship. And at this point, I cannot, because you're sitting here deflecting, and this is where I get off the train. Okay, I will see y'all next week, okay, when this come back on, because it's gonna be messy. And honestly, the fact that y'all tried to make Destiny look like a hoe, now y'all sitting here trying to make Trisha look like a hoe, especially you, Lance. Baby, the way I'ma air you hoes out, okay, it is warranted. Anyway, this is your girl Kiwan reminding you to keep showing up, keep growing, stay true to yourself. And I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.